CBT and holistic healing for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Welcome back. In today's video, we're exploring powerful evidence-based tools from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and how they can be integrated with holistic healing practices to support recovery from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. We'll talk about how trauma affects our thoughts, emotions, and body. And I'll walk you through practical CBT tools and holistic exercises you can start using right away through practical tools you can use to reframe trauma-related thoughts, rebuild trust, and reconnect mind and body. Part 1. CBT for PTSD. CBT is one of the most evidence-based therapies we have to address PTSD. It teaches us how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are connected, and how changing one can help us change the others. For people recovering from trauma, CBT helps you regain a sense of control, safety, and trust in yourself and the world again. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's about changing the way your mind relates to it, therefore no longer allowing the events to have power over you or cause you to feel defeated, but to see it from a more empowering perspective. Part 2. Understanding emotions. In CBT, we talk about two kinds of emotions, primary and secondary. Primary emotions, like fear, anger, or sadness, are natural responses to threat or loss. But secondary emotions, things like guilt about feeling angry or shame about being sad, come from judgment and distorted thinking. Learning to separate these two helps you release unnecessary emotional weight and focus on healing what's real. Part 3. How trauma changes beliefs. After trauma, our beliefs about the world can shift in painful ways. We may stop feeling safe. We might lose trust in others or even in ourselves. We might feel powerless, worthless, or disconnected. CBT helps us recognize those distorted beliefs, what we call stuck points, and gradually replace them with balanced, realistic ones. It's about moving from I'm broken to I survived and I'm healing. Part 4. Practical CBT tools. Let's talk about a few CBT tools you can try. Tool 1. The thought record. Write down a triggering event, your automatic thought, and how it made you feel. What meaning did you assign to this event, such as I failed or I feel broken? Then ask yourself, what's the evidence for this thought and what's the evidence against it? Dispute and counter the thought. For example, this event taught me how to become stronger and become more resilient, which is helping me build a better business or future. Finally, reframe it into something more balanced, such as it was only one less than ideal event. I can learn what I would choose to do different next time. If it is a pattern, then you might neutralize the thought with, I can restructure this belief and repattern this behavior to improve my outcome. This exercise helps you separate fact from fear. Tool 2, the Stuck Point Journal. List beliefs like I can't trust anyone or it was my fault. Then challenge them. Ask, is this 100% true? What would I say to a friend who felt this way? That's cognitive restructuring in action. Tool 3, behavioral experiments. Test new gentle behaviors to build confidence. If crowds trigger anxiety, start small. Maybe a short and peaceful visit to a cafe or park. Prove to your brain that safety is possible again. CBT works best when we combine it with mind-body healing. Here are a few holistic practices that complement cognitive work. Grounding techniques. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Name 5 things you see, 4 you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. It brings you back to the present moment when flashbacks or anxiety rise. Somatic release. Trauma lives in the body. The body represents our subconscious mind where trauma may reside. Simple movements like gentle shaking, stretching, or yoga can help release stored tension and reconnect you with your body safely. Breathwork. Try breathing in for 4 counts and out for 4 counts. This helps calm the nervous system and signals to your body, I'm safe right now. Self-compassion meditation. Say to yourself, may I be patient with my healing. May I forgive myself for what I couldn't control. May I trust that I'm getting stronger each day. Here's a reflection exercise you can try tonight. Write an impact statement, a short paragraph on how your trauma affected the way you see yourself, others, and the world. Then ask, which of these beliefs are helping me heal, and which ones are holding me back? Awareness is the first step toward change. Part 7. CBT gives structure and clarity to the healing process. It helps you see that your thoughts are not facts, and that change is possible. When we add holistic tools, mindfulness, movement, breath, compassion, healing becomes not just cognitive, but whole. Remember, recovery is not about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming your sense of safety, trust, control, and connection, step by step. You may be familiar with one of the core CBT techniques, the thought record or cognitive restructuring journal. The purpose is simple. Identify and challenge trauma-related thoughts that keep you stuck in fear or distress. Follow these 7 steps. Write down a triggering event or memory. Notice your automatic thoughts. Label your emotions on a scale from 0 to 10. Maybe you feel fear at a 9. Look for evidence for and against the thought. Now create a balanced replacement thought, something closer to your ideal outcome. Ask yourself, how does this ideal outcome make me feel? Can I embody that feeling right now as if it's already true? Finally, re-rate your emotions. For example, you hear a loud noise outside at night. Your automatic thought is, I'm in danger again. You feel fear at a 9 out of 10, but when you look closer, the evidence against it is that you're home and safe, it's just fireworks. So your balanced thought becomes, the noise startled me, but I'm safe. And now your fear drops to a 3. Next, let's talk about stuck points, those rigid beliefs that trauma can create. Common examples include, I should have prevented it, I can't trust anyone, or I'm permanently damaged. To challenge these, write each belief down and ask, is this 100% true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? How does it affect my safety, relationships, and control? And finally, what would I tell a friend who believed this about themselves? See behavioral experiments. Once you've started shifting your thinking, it's time to test new beliefs through small, safe actions. For instance, if your belief is, I'll panic in crowded places, try visiting a small cafe during a quiet time. If you feel some discomfort but no panic, your brain begins to learn, I can handle this. Each small win builds evidence for safety and control. D. Emotion differentiation. One of the most important CBT skills is learning to tell the difference between primary and secondary emotions. Primary emotions like fear, sadness, or anger are natural. Secondary emotions, guilt about feeling angry or shame about being afraid, come from judgment. Here's a quick example. If you remember your trauma and feel fear, that's normal. But if you feel shame for being afraid, that's secondary. When you validate the primary emotion, the shame starts to lose power. That's how we begin to release layers of unnecessary suffering. Trauma-focused CBT exercises. Now let's deepen your awareness. Write a short impact statement. How has this trauma affected the way I see myself, other people, and the world? Then highlight beliefs about safety, trust, power, esteem, and intimacy. Identify which ones feel distorted. Those are your next healing targets. B. The safety and control plan. Create what I call a safety toolkit. At least 3 grounding techniques and 2 safe spaces, whether physical or emotional. This could include the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method, deep breathing with a hand on your heart, journaling after a nightmare, or calling a trusted person. Each of these reinforces your sense of internal safety. C. Rebuilding trust and intimacy. Rebuilding connection takes small, intentional steps. Try one act of vulnerability, like sharing how you feel with a friend. Afterward, reflect on how it felt and celebrate that progress. Trust is rebuilt one small moment at a time. Holistic integration tools. A. Mind-body grounding routine. Holistic healing means reconnecting mind and body. Spend 5 minutes each day on a grounding routine. Start with a body scan, noticing sensations without judgment. Breathe in for 4 counts, out for 6, and say to yourself, I am safe in this moment. B. Somatic release. Trauma isn't just in your mind, it's stored in your body. You can release tension through gentle movement, progressive muscle relaxation, yoga, or Tai Chi. Find what feels grounding, not overwhelming. C. Self-compassion meditation. Self-compassion helps rebuild self-worth after trauma. Here's a short script you can repeat daily. May I be patient with my healing. May I forgive myself for what I couldn't control. May I trust that I am growing stronger each day and learning how to feel safe. D. Lifestyle integration. Holistic wellness means taking care of the mind-body connection and treating the body as a whole system. Keep a regular sleep routine, limit screens before bed, and eat balanced meals. Gentle movement, even a short walk, releases endorphins and reduces anxiety. And community connection, like volunteering or joining a support group, engaging in a hobby such as art, sports, or dance lessons, helps rebuild a sense of belonging. Reflection and practice. To integrate what you're learning, take a few minutes each week to reflect. Here is a journal prompt to try. What belief do I hold about myself because of trauma, and how might I view it differently if I were showing compassion to a loved one? Mindfulness practice. When a trauma memory comes up, name it, such as, this is fear, it's only an emotion. Breathe deeply and remind yourself, this event is not happening now. I am safe and supported. Weekly check-in. Ask yourself, what new evidence supports my safety, such as, I am alive and have a roof over my head? How has my sense of trust or self-worth shifted? Do I value safety and now hold a higher regard for myself and essential needs? Which self-care practices helped me stay grounded? Summary and closing. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps people identify unhelpful beliefs and regain balance across 5 key areas: safety, trust, power, esteem, and intimacy. When we combine CBT with mindfulness, movement, and compassion, healing becomes a full spectrum process, addressing both the mind and body. Take a moment to reflect on which tool you might try this week. Healing isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one small step at a time. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need it today. These healing techniques are outlined in our genetic recoding and P.A.N.A.C.E.A system. Explore our 40-plus holistic programs, continuing education, and professional development at HolisticSchool.Online. Or apply as a holistic professional. Visit liberatedliving.com application. And remember, healing is a journey, not a timeline.